Venkatesham is the chief executive of Arsenal, joins me now from London. So it is good to see you. Before we get to the minutiae of where you're going to spend your cash, these new murals that you've put on the Emirates Stadium, the reason and the purpose of them. I mean, we're looking at them now. Why did you feel that you wanted to put these up? What do they tell you about the club and its fans?
Well, listen, the genesis of this project is all from our fans. Our fans told us that they felt it was time not only to replace the banners, the 8 banners on the outside of the Emirates Stadium, but to change them entirely. And we have run a massive consultation process involving more than 100 supporters, ex-players' families, members of the community, to redesign these banners. The Emirates Stadium is already iconic, and we're going to have 8 new pieces of art hanging for it, completely changing what the stadium looks like and also changing what the North London skyline looks like. And the reason we've done it is all in response to fan feedback. They wanted us to make the change, and we've involved them in the process to make those change. And today we're launching these 8 new banners right in the heart of Islington, and the fan reaction so far has been fantastic, which is great to see.
Now, the fan reaction certainly will be interested on the murals. They'll be even more interested if you bring Mikhailo Mudryk to Arsenal. Where do we stand on that? Have you got your checkbook ready?
You will not be surprised to hear that I'm not going to talk about individual players. But of course, we are in a transfer window at the moment. Edu Gaspar, our sporting director, has a long-term plan around how we want to strengthen our squad. And whenever a transfer window is open, there's an opportunity for us. And of course, when a transfer window is open, we're always looking to see if there's an opportunity that makes sense for us. And if an opportunity makes sense for us, we will do it. And January is no different from any other transfer window.
Define what makes sense. You're at the top of the Premier League. You're obviously going to hope to stay there. Champions League and Championship finals have given you more difficulties. So in this scenario, and assuming you've got the cash, what makes sense?
Well, of course, you're right. We've had a great start to the season. We're only halfway through, as you said. We'll take each game as it comes, stay humble, and see what we can do, trying to win every game as we go. In terms of the transfer window and your specific question, in terms of what makes sense, it's always the same equation. Can we find a player that we think is going to really add something to the squad? And can we find a player where we think the price for that player makes sense? And when those two things make sense, then we'll make a move. When something doesn't make sense, we need to be patient.
We're a business programme, so, well, you're the CEO, so you're used to looking at the balance sheet. Let's talk some of the business aspects. The cost of a season ticket now, it's over $4,000, £3,200 odd. This, again, balancing act. The UK is probably in recession at the moment. How are you going to navigate the ability to raise revenue and at the same time be a fan-based club and not go broke at the same time?
Well, we have multiple revenue streams. We always have our broadcast revenue stream, we have our match day that you talk about, and we also have our commercial revenue stream. So, of course, we need to drive our revenues forward across the board. And then, effectively, they have a virtuous circle spinning. We drive more revenue, we invest it on the pitch, we're more successful on the pitch, and we can drive more revenue. Of course, it's tough economic climes at the moment that we have to navigate. But the challenge remains the same, to continue to grow the size of our business so we can invest more on the football side to give us the best chance of being successful on the pitch and fulfilling our objectives, which are to compete for the biggest trophies in the game.
When you look back at the whole ill-fated Super League, what do you make of it? I mean, obviously the question is whether if something along those lines came up again, would you be, I'm not asking you whether you'd join, would you be interested? Would you take a meeting even?
Listen, as far as we're concerned, the Super League is in the past. It was something that we apologise for and we move on from. And in terms of the Super League going forward, it's not something that we're interested in.
Back to the game, back to the year, back to the way it's looking good. What do you think has changed that has allowed you to propel Arsenal that little bit harder and further this year. Is there something, as you look at the team, the composition, the strategy, the match day strategy, can you see something that you think has changed?
I think there is great momentum at this football club on and off the football pitch. On the pitch, our men's team are, of course, doing really well. Our women's team are doing fantastically well. Our academy continues to promote players into our first team. So I think it's a combination of factors. I think right at the heart of it, coming back to the project today, has been that connection and the strengthening of the connection that we have with our fans. And today is a great example of this. We're changing the banners on the outside of the stadium, and we're doing that hand in glove with our supporters, involving them every step along the process. And that's what we do. What's what we're doing at this football club, making sure we're involving our supporters in the big decisions we make to make sure that the connection between the club and the supporters is as strong as it possibly can be. That helps us have a fantastic atmosphere in the stadium, and that helps us fuel performance on the pitch.
I think I'm looking forward to. We need to do Quest Wins Business from the Emirates Stadium one night. Come and talk business face to face. We'll look forward to that. Absolutely. Thank you, sir. I'm grateful. Thank you.